the only time I've ever like failed at something is because I didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think only you know the frequency in which you operate best in. Not saying don't listen to other people when they tell you things, but there's sometimes like somebody will tell you something, you know in the back of your mind, like, I don't know if that's the play, but I'm gonna give it a run. And then when things go bad, you can only just be mad at yourself, like swinging at the air like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you gotta like really trust yourself and trust your instincts.
Welcome to another delicious episode of Yummy Podcast, where we savor life's inspiring stories on a quest to help you find your ultimate, most meaningful yet. I'm Crystal Khalil.
And I'm Dr. Nicole LaBeach. And today we have with us none other than Headkrack.
Hey. What's up, ladies?
What's up?
We're so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. I haven't been outside in quite some time.
Listen, DJ, comedian, rapper, bringing us all the news and the goodies on culture. You're the man.
I try my best, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to do it all. Like, life is short, you know what I'm saying? Like, find something you're scared of and do it. Like, this time last year, I was preparing for a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, why not, right?
Wow.
What kind of fight?
A boxing match.
You were boxing?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't lose. You know what I'm saying?
Now?
Preparation goes a long way.
Congratulations.
But, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, I just hate like going in a repetitive pattern of doing the same thing over and over again. So I like to always find things that challenge me. Because I get bored easy.
Yeah. So you fit us so well because Yummy Podcast is all about your ultimate, most meaningful yet. Okay. People look at Yummy and we're like, it's an acronym. And when we tell them, listen, there are a lot of things in life you can do well. There are a lot of good things you could do. But what's your Yummy? So when you talk about what I hear is stepping outside of the box and doing something different, that's Yummy to us.
I love it. And it's a dope acronym as well,
Thank
too.
you.
I had my aha moment in real time as you was breaking it. Yeah, your ultimate, most meaningful. Right.
Yeah.
Look at the universe being great.
And it's so funny because we used to say it all the time before we knew it was an acronym, right? We used to be like, oh my God, that's so yummy. Anytime something good happened, it's so good that it's yummy, right? When you have something that tastes so good, the only word to describe it is yummy.
Right.
And then one day we realized it was an acronym. Your ultimate, most meaningful yet. So we're like, that works.
Well done on that.
Thank you. So before we really get into it with you and really talk about your yummy life, Headkrack, Dr. Nicole and I have a practice in our community and in our tribe, and it's called the wiggle.
Okay.
So take your hand and put it in front of your face. Now wiggle. Wiggle.
Is it like John Cena?
Wiggle. Yeah, wiggle. Now take the mask off and put it in your lap.
Oh.
Boo.
I love it.
Do you have another mask on? Because sometimes we got to do it a couple times.
2 and 3 times.
You
got guarded.
Right.
Full transparency. Let's go.
So does your soul have permission to speak?
My soul has permission to speak.
Oh, we cannot wait to hear what it has to say.
I mean, you're talking to the right one. I've gone like on 11 ayahuasca ceremonies. So like, yeah,
I gotta hear
my
more
soul
about
outside
that.
with his hat on backwards and
just,
sandals.
I just learned about that listening to Will Smith's podcast. And I was like, I think I want to try that one day.
That's how he probably got the courage to smack Chris Rock.
Was it the ayahuasca?
Yeah, ayahuasca, like, it'll summon your ultimate self. And like, you know, put you in a space and place where you're like, yo, you know you don't gotta tolerate this no more, right? And then like, whatever it needs to do for you is what it will do for you. Because everybody has different needs.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when I went, I was going because like I lost my mom in 2018.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Really
and you never get over it, right? And then also I was getting ready to take on a brand new task. And I wanted to fortify my mind, body, and spirit for the things I was gonna have to embark on. Because like dealing with people and dealing with different energies, it requires a lot. So you wanna have what you need. But in real time, it showed me the things that were making me most unhappy in life. And I eventually had to cut those umbilical cords and let them go.
Oh.
So 11?
11.
Okay. So what made you say after the first one, I gotta do this again? What was that for you?
It's funny, Doc, because like on the very first one, especially like after the first ceremony, because when you go on a retreat, you do 3 ceremonies during a retreat usually.
Okay.
And after the first ceremony, I got all the answers I wanted. I was good. I just wanted to make sure my mom was okay, my grandmother was okay, and because I'm a hip hop dude, is Biggie okay?
Ooh,
and
you saw Biggie?
No, I didn't see Biggie, but like I got to experience what it felt for these people to transition. And there's a lot of times where like we're like, we're going through agony and pain, thinking about like what people may have like, went through when they like, transition from this physical experience to the spiritual one. And you cannot bottle this experience and sell it.
Wow.
It feels amazing. And I think what we're doing here in this physical playground that we're, in right now is this the pregame.
Yeah.
Like we're the ones suffering. Yeah. Low key.
Right.
And to experience that, it let me know that they're good. Everybody's okay. Anybody that you lost, that you miss, and you just worrying about them, like, yo, they're okay. They're worried about you here.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's yummy.
Okay.
That's yummy.
It taught me that. And like, so off on the strip for that, I was like, I can go home now.
I love
But then I was like, well, I did pay for the rest of it. So let me stick around and go. So like, the second ceremony taught me about like being one with nature, because I used to hate being outside.
Okay.
Well, like I'm from New York. I used to like to go outside, but going outside here is different.
Yeah. There's bugs.
There's bugs,
pollen.
It's not a concrete jungle. It's it's a different experience.
Yeah, I knew if I get bit by a spider, I wouldn't get powers. I'd lose my foot. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like going outside. Right. And it allowed me to realize that, like, we are actually one with nature. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why doctors and people who are like really into like otherworldly medicine will tell you, take your shoes off, go outside and ground yourself. Yeah. Because it takes some of that inflammation away. Like the earth is a living, breathing thing. Yeah. And it helped me understand that, because I used to never would want to lay on the ground outside because I don't want to get my clothes dirty or get bit by that spider. That spider.
So it's crazy, because when we went to South Africa, we struggled with jet lag. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, we get there and literally we get off the plane and we start moving into serving the communities that we were intending to connect with. So we are shopping, we are getting watches for kids, 600 pairs of shoes, like we are on it. And then we just started to feel like, we're going to sleep at an appropriate time, but why are we waking up feeling like we have a hangover?
Every morning.
Every single morning. And we were talking about it, and Crystal said, we need to go outside and put our feet on the grass. Of course, I was like, now what? What does that mean? And she said, sis, if we go outside and we put our feet on the grass, it's going to ground us with the earth over here and our jet lag will go away. I promise you.
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I used to do, because I used to travel to Germany all the time.
Okay.
I used to work for Porsche. And that's what I would do, because I would go in.
The car or the person?
The car.
Okay.
Yes.
I just had to make sure.
Both, right?
Yeah, I just had to make sure.
The car. And so I would fly to Germany all the time, and we would arrive like 8 a.m. and then hit the ground and go straight to work. So to get on their time zone, you would take your shoes off and ground yourself. And we did that, and I was like, I don't know why I didn't think about that. But we came in and we were moving so fast. The minute we did it, jet lag went away.
Yeah, I think these are like things that our great grandparents knew, and like our ancestors, and we're so far removed from communicating like that with people that some of these like old practices that used to be more and more common have been replaced by technology and other things to keep your mind, body, and spirit busy, so you can't really ascend to your truest, highest self, because we're so distracted. You know?
So okay, the first one, you had an encounter where you understood that the transition of life is beautiful. Yeah. And that they're okay. Mm-hmm. The second one, you became one with nature. The third one.
So like I felt like, hey, there's nothing left for me to do here. So maybe I can use my energy to help other people in the room. And there was a person who was having difficulty bearing children. And it was ironic because she was in the industry of helping people deliver children, not a doctor, but like a midwife. And just the juxtaposition of being able to bring children in the world, but not be able to bring children in the world yourself. Yeah. That's crazy. So like, I was like, yo, please let this medicine allow me to use my energy to go into the room and just connect with anybody who needs my help, no matter who that may be. And it ended up being this one particular person. And then when it was like that last ceremony was over, I told her, I was like, hey, listen, you're gonna have a baby in 11 months and this baby's gonna be amazing. She's gonna change the world.
Wow.
And she looked at me like, you insane person, you. Like, how dare you say something like that to me knowing I can't have children? Yeah. Kept in touch, exchanged numbers. Like 6-7 weeks later, she sent me a picture with the pregnancy strip.
That's so yummy.
And she ended up having a baby 11 months later. It was a boy though. But you can't get them all right.
Oh my God. That's yummy on so many different levels. First, I love that you recognize energy is transferable. And you said to the universe, to God, let me use my energy to help somebody else.
Yeah. So sis, as you're talking about a free mindset, you know it's opportunity for swag. Yummy
check.
Swag. Our shirts today say free women.
Free women.
You get it?
Free women. Free women.
I'm just putting that out there. Carry on. Continue.
You can get your Free Women t-shirt at crystalanddrnicole.com, or you can check the show notes below to find the link.
I mean, like, hey, man. You've already ate. You gotta make plates for everybody else, right?
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Seems intuitive.
Yes.
Because, I mean, that's what I really want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to help people. I want to be a healer. And, like, the more and more I'm outside, people's like, yo, no, it's Reishi. Or Reiki. Reishi's a mushroom. That's Reiki. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, word? So, like, that, I think that's, like, what the next chapter of my growing is going to be, me learning how to be a Reiki healer, because apparently I have some level of that gift, because not everybody can do everything. Like, I mean, I don't know how, like, deep you go into, like, you know, metaphysics and whatnot. Well, not even really metaphysics, but just things that older people knew how to do.
Yeah,
right.
Like, my grandmother was telling me a story about this lady who lived down the road from them when they was kids, who had the ability to talk fire out of people. And I got this story from her because anytime, like, somebody comes to my house that don't live here, like, I interview them. Yeah. Just so I can have them, like, you know, like, just, like, get stories from them and whatnot. So she was telling me a story about how when she was little, her sister was sitting on her dad's lap and she fell forward, and he had, like, a potbelly stove, and her face fell forward on the stove and it burnt her face, like, horrifically. Like, I mean, like, just using my imagination, think of Freddy Krueger level, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So her dad and her mom was like, yo, there's this lady down the road that knows how to talk the fire out of people. So they brought her down there and he did something, and then, like, 7 days later, it was completely healed, like it never happened.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I let 2-3 weeks go by, then I, like, looked it up. What is talking the fire out of people? What is that?
Google know everything, doesn't it?
It really do. You know, Google, WebMD. I trust Google a little bit more. However, it's a thing, and it's an ability that's passed through women in families. Wow. But I don't know, like, where the hierarchy of the tree begins. Not everybody is capable of doing it, but there's some people who have the ability to do it. So, like, knowing that this wasn't just some mamby-jamby that she made up, and that there's really, like, a thing, and people who know, it's like, oh, wow. You know? And it's like, I don't think we know as much about our godly selves as we think we know. Like, God gave us a lot of abilities to do dope things. Yeah. And I just think we're so distracted, and, like, you know, people be like, oh, that's witchcraft. Like, no, it's not. Yeah. It's like they taught you how to do this so you can help people and heal people. So
it, like, you're talking about all this stuff where you've been, these emerging experiences that you've had. What do you think is most relevant to you now at this stage in your life? Like, what's the yummy that you're trying to experience in this season?
The season that I'm in right now is the season of creativity. Mm-hmm. I think I spent so much time in the last few years working for other people, building their equity up. Mm-hmm. And I haven't really been pouring, like, you know, the energy into things that further my agenda and further my creative abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing music the whole time, but just quietly. Not even quietly. Like, you know, just as much noise as I can make and not go on tour. You know what I'm saying? Or as much noise as I can make and take some time off before I do something else. So like now I have like way more time to like create at a high level with other creative creators. And then also been dabbling in like stand-up because like, you know, I now can hang out to like ungodly hours of the night now and not have to be anywhere immediately in the morning as soon as my eyes open, and I get to see this whole new world and try this whole new field that I never had an opportunity to really get my feet wet in. So it's fun. And then on top of that, I'm also working on a children's show as well.
Oh, nice.
Because I want to make better humans.
I love to make better humans.
Because you realize like the stuff we grew up on when we was kids, like, yo, man, like low key, man, Maria raised a lot of us.
Yeah.
you know,
right.
and Gordon and them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And like knowing that like a lot of kids watch TV on YouTube and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, what if I could create a show that is entertaining, but then also educational, edutainment.
Right.
I love
that. And just like teach like valuable life lessons and help kids to be woker quicker.
I love that. That's yummy. And you know, you're making me think about when I made the transition from corporate America to partnering with Dr. Nicole. It's different when you come from behind the scenes where you're building somebody else's brand, right? And now you are the brand. And now you've got to focus on you. How is that for you? How is that feeling? Because it can be a little lonely being an entrepreneur sometimes, and fear will set in, right? You have the ideas and you know what is pulling for your yummy, but then there's always that fear. So what are you experiencing there?
You know, the crazy thing is like I went through my fear moment and it lasted really briefly because at the end of the day, like my intuition has never steered me wrong. Like my drive, my work ethic, and most importantly, my intent with the things I do has never, like, it's never been about me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never, ever, ever been about me.
Yeah.
It's always been about, I don't know, how can I add value to whatever I'm associated with? And even if we're talking about music, my music ain't about how I'm balling out of control and I just bought a convertible van. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's music that will pump you up and make you want to go out there and get it. Be the better version of yourself. Like I got a record coming out June 16th called Sumo. And the biggest takeaway from Sumo is like, yo, you are the dollar. You know what I mean? A lot of people chase money, but yo, the money, you've been the money the whole time.
You the guarantee.
Right, guarantee.
You are the guarantee. And you know, unfortunately, it seems like this world does not, it doesn't promote the good, right? They like that. I just bought a new Lambo, right? Now you are the guarantee. You are the dollar. So how do you push that?
Oh, the words that preceded what I just told you that I didn't say is the ratchetness that will hook them in. It's like Trojan horsing good information on a bed of hot wings. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, yo, it's ignorant enough to hook people in that like ignorant things. But then when you really listen to what I'm saying, like, oh, wow.
That's deep.
This brother's spitting. You know what I mean? So that's kind of been my approach with, because nobody ever wants to get preached at.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like getting preached at.
Right.
I go to church's chicken more than I go to church. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, so it's all about how you deliver the message and and hook people in, and then you realize, oh wow, I learned something. It's like Boondocks, the TV show. You think it's a cartoon, but yo, brothers was spitting.
Well, you know what's interesting is that we see you in so many different forms of media, right? We know who you are, but we don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So one of the things we talk about in the Yummy is that authenticity factor.
Yeah.
That who are you under the mask? And when we were talking, Crystal and I were talking about you, we were like, he's so dope, but who is Headkrack under all of that we've seen?
Take your glasses off and tell us who Headkrack is. Hi, I'm Crystal Khalil.
And I'm Dr. Nicole LaBeach.
Are you the woman that is serving everyone else? You know, you're the one that everybody calls when they have an issue. You're serving in the community, at work, at home, but you're not quite sure who's there for you.
Listen, if you know that there's more, you've been feeling that,
and you want to move into your next with purpose, you need to join us at Woman Unlimited Live.
We help high-achieving women like yourself unbind and unleash their unlimited potential.
So this is your time, and we look forward to seeing you.
See you soon.
See you soon.
I'm an allergy sufferer. That's why I'm wearing my glasses today.
Right.
I don't want you to think, yo, you just sit up here crying the whole time. Like, yo, apparently I didn't take enough Zyrtec today. And
We've been known to bring the tears in. We've been known to bring the tears.
That's my yummy.
It's yummy.
I mean, like, here's the thing, man. I'm a lover of adventure. I'm a lover of people. I'm a dad. I'm a soldier of fortune. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always willing to fight the good fight. And I'm a people loyalist. You know what I mean? Like, I rock with who rock with me, and I rock with who I came to the party with. You know what I mean? Like, I think you could walk the earth twice, even backwards, and I think you won't really be able to find too many people to be like, yo, man, Crack screwed me over, man. That's a foul dude. Because, like, yo, I believe it's like karma's a boomerang. You throw it out there, come back to you, hit you in the face, right? So, in a nutshell, I am a human mood ring. To be honest with you, like, I am about peace and positivity, but I will also punch another celebrity in a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it, like, at the end of the day, I'm a guy and I like to compete. You know what I'm saying? I like competing. So whether it's in the sports space, which I'm getting way too old to be doing that, or the music space.
Your body will show you, right?
Oh no, like, the crazy thing is, like, I made an agreement with my body. It's like, yeah, if you could just get me through this fight.
Right.
And right after the fight, the body was like a ball of twine. It just unravels. Like, yo, word, like, these ankles now, they made a fortune cookie.
Right.
You know, so, you know, so much for basketball. But I just like competing, and I like working with creative people and giving people who are creative a space to be creative.
Well, the entertainment industry is tough.
It is.
People say that. If you've experienced it, you know what they're talking about. But you are right. When your name is spoken, there aren't bad vibes.
Right.
You know, you can hear that people have experienced your intention. How do you keep that going when the environment around you at times, it ain't that yummy? It can be pretty cruel.
You know, it's tough because, like, you know, I get in conversations with people who be like, yeah, you know, like the connotation about you is like, you're nice. Yeah, like, yeah, I'm a nice guy. But, you know, but if you was in a car with me when I was driving in traffic, you probably wouldn't say so. I think everybody has their moments, you know what I'm saying, where they Jekyll or when they're Hyde. But at the end of the day, I just try my best to just live. I don't even think about it. Like, let me go do something positive today. Like, I just move how I move. And if I see something not moving right, I'm going to address it or, like, remove myself from the situation because I see things about to go left. You know what I mean? Like, you always sometimes hear that whisper in your ear, like, yo, you should leave now. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, when you leave, you find out later, yo, right after you left, blah, 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 blah. Like, I've had that thing going on my entire life. Yeah. So I just live. I don't really plan for much. Yeah. I just, like, I think I'll leave with alkaline thoughts. I think of the most positive possible scenario that could happen, but also being aware of, like, some things could go down, but, you know, I don't feed that energy. You know what I mean?
You've talked about we call it your gut. You've talked about it a couple of times. So, swag moment. My shirt, one of our sayings is, are you stuck or refusing to move? Where do you find you get stuck? And how do you move from that space?
Okay, well, definitely old me was stuck for a long time. Okay. I had a job that was very comfortable, and it, you know, it gave me the ability to do all the little creative things outside of work that I wanted to do financially, right? And I was stuck to it because, like, damn, I can't leave this now because my kids like almond milk. You know what I'm saying? So and, like, yo, man, like my kids go to Universal Studios as much as a normal kid goes to an actual park. Yeah, it's not cheap unless you get the season pass, but that's another story. But I was stuck.
Yeah.
Because I was comfortable. And like, even like before I moved to Atlanta, I was living in Dallas and I was stuck and I was happy because like, yo, I live in Dallas and, you know, like people know me and they know my group. And like, I came to Atlanta with claw marks in the tarmac. However, sometimes when you don't move, God gonna make you move. You know, whether you want to or not. And I got to a point where I was like, yo, why do I have to keep doing all these things? Why am I smoking 9,000% more weed than I was before the pandemic? Is because like, yo, I was stuck and I needed to leave and I was not moving in my purpose. So I moved. I feel like I jump a little higher now. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
and like,
I love that.
and I'm less grumpy. And I think you have to just take that leap of faith because I think a lot of times people think about all the bad things that happen, but when you think about like everything on a scale, I think more things go right for people than go wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you really look at it, it'd be that one person that say something foul to you on the internet versus the 99 others that like said something dope about you that, you know, you fixated on. But think about everything that you did that went right and shoot, leap out there on faith and go for it, man. And unstuck yourself.
That's so yummy that you said that because for me, I always describe it as I was in a golden cage. It was beautiful. Okay. I got a brand new Porsche every 6 months, right? Being paid well. I had a great team. I love the people that I worked with, but I felt like I was in a golden cage.
That is a dope description too. Like,
right? It's a golden cage. And I know some of our listeners and watchers, you know, you go to work every day and we get ourselves in this cycle like a hamster wheel. You get up, you go to work so you can buy more stuff. And then to keep the stuff, you got to go back to work. And you're in this cycle, right? And you're in a brand, you're within a brand and you're supporting that brand. But after a while, when you're not growing, you're comfortable, you're not growing anymore, you start to feel like you're suffocating, right? And I started to feel like this golden cage, every time I tried to lift my wings, I would bump up against the side of the cage. And I'm like, okay, I'm an eagle stuck in a finch cage. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like every time I try to do this, I'm hitting the sides of the cage. And it was like I heard God said, well, the door has been open. I was like, but God, they feed me. They come and they put the little food thing down every 2 weeks. They bring me fresh water. I got a nice little swing in here. He's like, but the door has been open. What are you waiting for? And I was like, man. And then standing on that ledge of the door was probably the scariest place to be, because it's like, if I jump, will I be able to fly? Right? If the water and the food not coming on a regular basis, somebody not delivering it to me, am I going to be able to feed myself? Am I going to be? And God said, so you think you feeding yourself now? You think they're feeding? You think they're the source? Wow. Right. I'm the source. They're a resource.
Yeah.
And if I gave you that resource, I can give you many more resources because I am the source. Change my life.
High five on that. Yeah. Like, I needed to hear that, like, about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. Like I said, I didn't sit in that whole, like, what are we going to do now for very long. But yeah, like everything that you said, I identify with that wholeheartedly because, yo, you think you can't do it without the people who've been doing things for you. Yeah. But there's a reason why they were doing things for you, because you're dope.
You're dope. Yeah. You are the guarantee.
Yeah. They're the resource from the source. And you were talking about, you know, why am I smoking so much more weed? Why is my life looking like this right now? We don't often listen to the signs that we're coping, right? Because we're afraid of leaping.
Yeah.
Because we think leaping and falling are the same thing.
Right.
And they're not the same thing.
No.
Leaping is leaping, falling is falling. When you make that leap to the next, it's to the next, because God is trying to move you from here to there. So what we say is to move, you have to move.
And he doesn't take you down. He takes you higher.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
And that's what I love about having faith. I mean, that's the thing about having faith. Like, faith isn't certain. You have to believe in something to happen in order for it to take shape. I mean, some people call it the law of attraction. Some people call it manifestations, which I have been wickedly good at my entire life. So like, that's why when I move, I don't worry about the movement, because what's meant for me is going to always happen. You know what I mean? So, you know, sometimes it'll take time. Sometimes you take the scenic route. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I wish I had Bow Wow's career. But you know what I'm saying? Right. I've been nice since I was 12 with the bike, you know what I'm saying? But you know, but I got a chance to learn a lot more. You know, I got to work for record companies and know how records go from the distribution company and out, and then eventually ended up working at a radio station where the records eventually go to. So I got to learn a lot more about the business as opposed to just being an artist or somebody who makes money for a machine. You know?
But that's go ahead.
I was going to say too, and progress is a process.
Yeah.
Social media, all of the stuff that we're doing is great. It's incredible. But it has a way of making it seem like everything is happening overnight, like literally. And it's not. You're living a life day to day trying to figure out, all right, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I continue on this path? Or are you calling me to something bigger, something better? What's my next move? So it's cool to hear you talk about what that's looked like for you, that there's been that uncertainty, but the faith piece, not having it all figured out, but the faith piece drawing you to what your next best move was.
Yeah, like your internal monologue is something else. You know what I mean? Like, the only time I've ever like failed at something is because I didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think only you know the frequency in which you operate best in. Not saying don't listen to other people when they tell you things, but there's sometimes like somebody will tell you something, you know in the back of your mind, like, I don't know if that's the play, but you know, I'm gonna give it a run. And then when things go bad, you can only just be mad at yourself, like swinging at the air like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Boys in the Hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you gotta like really trust yourself and trust your instincts and like be prepared to move and make your movement.
But the powerful thing about it is, you know, when you go through the process, like you said, you learned how the radio stations worked. You learned how media works, social media. They're assignments. And when we begin to feel pain is when we overstay the assignments. Right?
Yeah.
So you are mastering transition. You've moved from, you know, different careers, different companies, different brands, but you are mastering the process of transitioning when necessary, when it's time, because we will feel pain when we overstay the assignment.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's like the same way like a frog will get put into a boiling pot of water and he don't realize he getting cooked until like they bringing the fork and the apron out. You know what I mean? So don't just sit there and be in pain because you're being broken.
Right.
You know?
And I've worked with people, I've coached people, and they're complaining, they're unhappy, they've been in a job way past the assignment, right? And it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Like Dr. Nicole said, are you stuck or refusing to move? To move, you have to move. You have to take control of yourself, right? You've overstayed the assignment.
And you're claiming stuck when you don't have any evidence of movement.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of times, you know, the things that we do it's in our head.
Yes.
Right? It's almost like you see a picture of a horse and he's tied to like a bottle of water. You the horse, fam. You can drag that bottle of water, but they're programmed like, oh, I'm tied to something, so I can't move, man. 9 times out of 10, we have more ability to move than we ever realized. And there's more power in the skills that we wield than we recognize that we have. And you just got to believe in your inner dopeness, yo. I was hoping that was an acronym. B-I. Bid. Believe. Believe in your inner dopeness.
Yes.
Inner dopeness.
Like that. So what do you say now to people who they're just trying to get on their journey to believe their gut and stop the self-talk that is talking them out of everything that's possible for them?
I mean, a couple things I can recommend, and it's gonna sound stupid for people who are not prepared to hear this in this point in their life, because I wasn't ready when people like, self-affirmations. Tell yourself that you're great. Meditate. Spend time by yourself. Nah, that is the answer, fam. Meditate. Quiet the noise around you. Self-affirmations, man. Like, there's so much power in the tongue. I've made amazing things happen, and I've made terrible things happen with the power of my tongue. And understanding the power that I wielded, I undid the terrible things because I had no idea I had that power. You know what I mean? Wow. So understand, like, the things that you say and speak into existence can happen. And even if you're not saying it out loud and you're saying it in your mind, it's a frequency. And the universe picks up on that frequency, and it's going to bring you whatever you ordered. It's like the worst version of Prime, Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Right. So at the end of the day, become a better, meditator. Become a better seeker of things that are adding value to your energy field. Like, I know, like, in the era of early World Star, when I was logging on every day, see who's getting beat up today. Dark vibration, man. You let that stuff into your life, man. It's going to be in your life.
Yeah. That is so true.
You know? So, like, spend time with yourself, even if it's like 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. Do some breath work. And that doesn't mean brushing your teeth. Like literal breath work where, like, you are meditating, you're doing these controlled breathing exercises that start to release DMT in your brain, and then you'll start realizing how dope you really can be.
You just brought up something that I think our listeners and viewers really need to understand. You talked about breath work, you talked about meditation. All those things you didn't just get. They didn't just appear to you. You had to do some self-investing, investing in yourself. You talked about the ayahuasca experience. I'm looking at a man that has done a lot of self-investment.
Yeah.
And talk to the people about how important it is to invest in your next, to invest in yourself, and who's on your team.
Oh, man. No one does anything alone. Great. You know what I mean? Like, even if you look at Michael Jackson, who was like one of the baddest performers, entertainers of all time. He didn't write them songs. Like the Thriller album, Rod Temperton, most of the records, Quincy Jones on production. So as dope as Michael Jackson is, like, without people backing him up and aiding and abetting him to his greatness, you can't really succeed. Not everybody's gonna know how to run a business, but maybe somebody is a heck of an accountant. That's somebody you need on your team.
Right.
Or maybe, like, you wanna open a restaurant, but you ain't a good cook. But maybe your homie who's a chef on a low can, like, help you put together your menu and, like, make some things. So you really got to find the pieces to your puzzle, human wise, that believe in your goals and believe in what it is you're trying to do, and bring them on your team so you can get that thing going. As far as investing in yourself, once again, remove all the negative self-talk. Yeah. Remove it. Because that is, like, step one to getting, like, higher up that ladder to where, like, your goals, sitting the most high. And don't be afraid to experiment and just, like, listen to ideas that sound ridiculous to you. Because, like, some of the most ridiculous things that people used to tell me back in the day, I eventually found out they were real, And it's just like, whoa. So many people don't know as much as we think we do. Like, you could be mad book smart. You could even be a little bit street smart. But then there's, like, another level to it too. That spiritual thing is real, and it goes beyond, like, what you get out of church. That's a component to it too, because it teaches you faith. But there's so much more that goes into the spiritual component than just what you think happens on Sunday.
Well, you're talking about an appetite. An appetite for things like prayer, meditation, seeing the power in your words, to be able to change your life and navigate the life that you want now and what you want in the future. So when you think about it, Headkrack, what's the yummy that awaits you?
At the end of all of it? To me, like, the real money is being able to change people's lives, whether they met me or not. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine, like, with some of your favorite people, whether it be, like, in the pop culture space, movie space, how they make you feel when you encounter whatever it is that they bring to the table. Like, there's mad people who love Oprah, never met her. You know what I'm saying? But Oprah does something for people's souls. Like, I remember being a young kid watching Mike Tyson, like, just flawed people like that did something for me. Mostly I was glad I wasn't the other person. However, you know, but like, yo, man, he come from a bad place. Like I come from a bad place, and look at him, man. He got the world in his head. And granted, he had his dark moments, but look at him now. Yeah. Like he came out, he went to hell sort of looked like, and came back on the other side of it better. So for me, my yummy would be able to master healing people, whether because you were in my energy field or not, or I made something that just changed your life in the best way possible. And that's what my goal is for like my next couple projects. Like, yeah, you're gonna have a good time, but hopefully like these albums will do for you what my favorite albums did for me when I was growing up and I was in a bad space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. You're talking about legacy.
Yeah, like that's the legacy. Like, hey man, at the end of the day, man, did you like lead to the destruction of your people, or did you help people become better people? You know, same thing with the children's show. Like hopefully, like if this thing really comes to fruition the way I'm building it to, that when I'm long gone, people will still be like, yo man, he was like the Black Mr. Rogers.
I love that.
Except he was more I want to be more dangerous than Mr. Rogers. Like, God just was bless him. Yeah, like
he was authentic. He was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, change the sweaters. You usually had the dope boy Nike on, switch them out. Fred Rogers, he was a G.
And we think you're cool.
And he had black kids too. He adopted them.
We think you're cool too.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for letting us meet a part of you that we normally don't get to connect with.
Well, thank you so much for having me and allowing me to, you know, be here.
Indeed. This was pretty yummy.
I'm inspired.
Yo, and y'all inspired me as well, man. Like, yo, congratulations on your podcast.
Thank you so much.
You know, I know we're in the single digits right now, but like when you in triple digits, you know what I'm saying? And you being helicoptered in, you know what I'm saying?
Manifestation.
You know, just remember when things were simpler, you know what I mean? And just enjoy the whole journey, for real.
For sure. And we pray that this episode really helps you to find your yummy and your next.